Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up. Wow. Hello, YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Hey, so I'm still not set back up. I don't have my camera. I've got my doggy cam set up. I've learned a lot in this effed up process of YouTube world. And I plan on doing a members only stream and talking very candidly about my experience and how people on YouTube like to try to sabotage others and their livelihood. So as you all know, I do this full-time as a full-time job. This is what pays my bills. This is what puts food on my table. It's my passion. I always wanted to do some sort of broadcasting, and the fact that YouTube allows me to do that myself is not only amazing, but it's also kind of scary because there's people out there who, for whatever reason, don't want to see you do well. So now I've learned, and it took 4.5 years, that you can't trust people on this platform, or any platform for that matter. You don't know their intentions. You don't know what they're sending you. You don't know what you're clicking. And furthermore, you don't know if what they're sending you is real or not. And to me, it's very important that I don't pass along fake news to my listeners. There's plenty of creators out there who don't give a damn from what I'm seeing now, what is put out there, what they're sharing with you guys. And that's why there's mass confusion in some of these cases. So there's been a lot of technical things that I've had to handle, a lot of emotional things. Being on a public platform, I guess, comes with its dues. But there are certain people, and Auntie Cheryl is one of them, that has reached out just to make sure I'm okay. Because it is scary when someone takes control over your entire Facebook. Because that not only puts your stuff in jeopardy, but it puts everyone you're friends with in jeopardy. These people don't care about other people. And I just wanted to get that out there. I'm going to do a members only stream, and we can talk more in depth about this stuff. I don't know who's behind it. I'm not here to point fingers. I'm just here to give, my take on what I've learned on this crazy ass platform. I mean, I've been through lawsuits. I've been through slander. I've been through my personal life being blasted. It's messed up. And until people start talking about it, it's going to keep happening. And I just don't want anything to do with any of that shit. Painting services by Steve. I've missed you. Hey, thank you. He says, yay, it's Jay. Welcome back. Yes, people suck. The more I meet, the more I love my dogs. Like, duh. Same. So, not only are they taking control of Facebook's, but there's more. We're talking, can't use my debit cards. I mean, there's a lot. But we will do a members only chat. And I thank you guys for being here and supporting me. I see there's 109 of you here. Thank you. Even if I had 5, I would still do what I do. Because I love doing this. But I only want to bring correct shit to my viewers. And I will always stand by my integrity. And no one will ever sway me from my integrity. Because at the end of the day, those lawsuits come in my name. You put fake shit out about a 16-year-old girl. And you say things that aren't true. It's very dangerous. Take a look at the Alex Jones defamation lawsuits. And I say lawsuits in plural. A lot of us aren't even remotely on the scope of Alex Jones. But it doesn't stop lawsuits, apparently, because Nexstar Media Group, a multi-billion-dollar corporation, sued me. Me. I barely make enough to pay my bills. And then I've still got people in my ear telling me, oh, you need to raise your membership tiers because people will pay more. You could be doing so much better. And then I do it. And guess what? It deleted 240 of you. So there's always sabotage lurking around every corner. And that goes for subscribers and creators both. I respect every single one of you, whether you're chatting, whether you're listening. The fact that you're on my channel right now, I respect you and I respect your opinions, and I hope that you will do the same. So let's move into these updates because I have missed you, my Roberters. So right now I'm on like a temporary network. So right now this is going to be all changed again. So that's why I didn't set up my camera and all this shit, because everything has to be undone. So this is a temporary setup, but I set up the little doggy cam and Bella is there taking a nap. But I wanted to come on because A, I missed you. B, I have updates, tons of them. I missed you guys too. Hey, Krugs. Hey, Olive Juice and Allie. Hey, Frankie. Thank you, Frankie. I've missed you. Much love. Much love to you. Hey, Flo. Thank you for staying, Roberters. Monkey Biz. And I've missed you. I hope you guys are doing well. Angie B. Rexy. Allie. Thank you, you guys. Again, thank you, Steve. Hey, Mike Sanner. Nice to see you. I really have missed you guys. And so, like, I had to clear out everything. My whole Facebook, my Facebook page. There's no moderators. Nothing. So, yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun. Hi, Potato. Wow, it's good to see you too, Potato. Thank you for coming in, and thank you for staying a Roberter. All of you guys that... Isley Brothers. Hey. Well, I hope that the ones with integrity will stick around here with me, because I don't intend to look left, right, up, or down. I tend to look forward, and I hope you guys will look forward with me. So, all right. I'm looking away from chat officially because I got to focus. So we have some like crazy shit going on again with Barry Morphew. This just came out and was updated 2 days ago. And I want to say real quick that I haven't forgot that today is September 11th. And a friend of mine from high school, well, not really from high school, but from the church that I went to growing up, she died in the September 11th in the World Trade, I think it was Tower 2. And her name was Suzanne. And I just want to recognize that because every year I've always posted on her sister's little thing, and I don't know where that is anymore because it used to be a message board. And now it's like, I don't know where you'd even find that. So I just wanted to mention Suzanne and make sure that I didn't forget that it was September 11th today. Angie B, we've missed you and our fellow Roberters. Thank you, Angie B. Melmac, thank you for being here. The 128 of you, and the ones that will stand up and type right now and say Jay's not a chump. I'm not mad that she took the wrenches because I understand that she's got to protect herself. You guys are the true Roberters. Roberter. Hold on, I got to plug in my soundboard because it's not the same without it.
Roberta.
There we go. Hope you heard that. Okay. So, Cannon City, Colorado. So, Barry Morphew, he's scheduled to be back in court on October 25th for a hearing. And this hearing is for him. He wants his shit back. He's like, give me my house, give me my property. And his lawyer is saying, there is nothing in here that warrants them holding on to it. The charges against Barry Morphew for murdering his wife that they never found her body were dismissed on April 18th. And they have had possession of all his property for more than 2 years. Oh my gosh, I just got Zard. Whoop!
You know, the proof is in the pudding, if you will.
Stand down, Mr. JB.
Roberta.
We just got Zard. Bella Blonde, thank you. And I love cake. So thank you. Hey, Spitfire. How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Well, welcome, Becky. Thank you for being here. All right, guys. Again, thank you. Again, thank you for your support. You are greatly appreciated.
Do you like to twirl?
All right, so Barry's like, give me my stuff back. So let's take a look at the docs. Bella Blonde, I've missed you too. So here is what they say. We alleged in the motion the items should be returned to Barry as they are being unlawfully held for no legitimate purpose. Part of a statement from Morphew's attorney, Iris Eiton, reads, as the law recognizes, Barry is innocent. And in this country, we just don't hold people's property ad infinitum when there are no charges pending. As you recall, Miss Stanley, who lost her law license in the middle of this, she says that she dismissed the no body homicide because she suddenly believed after 2 years that a body was important in pursuing the charges against Barry. All right, I'm going to give you guys a couple wrenches because I see some trolls going on. I hope you guys know, okay, you trolls that are in here with your effed up names and your effed up profile pictures, you're just going to get deleted. We know deleted. We know who you are. We're not dumb. Definitely not dumb after this. All right, so I am going to wrench a couple of the OGs because I don't like trolls. All right, so Potato, where is Auntie Cheryl? Maybe she's not here no more. I just said no more. What has gotten into me? There she is. All righty. Whoop, whoop. So I don't know if they are... Okay, you should be. Cheryl? Yeah, you are. Okay. So yeah, so they're saying that that this Miss Stanley, who freaking got her law license taken away, she didn't have the right evidence. She charged Barry too soon. Whatever she did, did not hold those charges. So 9 days before the trial, Miss Stanley said that they were about to get to Suzanne, but they were stymied by 6 feet of snow. Well, that was back in April. So his lawyer says, of course, this was a false promise and the prosecution's way to get out from under a trial that would have exonerated Barry. So they are still looking for Suzanne, and anyone with information is asked to call 719-312-7530. I don't know whose number that is. KKTV.com is responsible. You can view the motion here. So the timeline of this case is on May 10th, 2020, Suzanne went missing. May 11th, Search crews were called to the area that she was believed to be in near her home. May 15th, items belonging to her were found. Her helmet, her bike, whatever. Took them like 4 or 5 days. On the 17th of May 2020, Barry did his pathetic plea for his wife. May 19th, authorities searched the Morphew home. That is when they found the whatchamacallit, the stun gun thing. Not stun gun, but I'm having a mind blank. The tranquilizer gun thing in the dryer. They had, I believe, like her phone going around the house like she was being chased. Yeah, just weird stuff. Like a spy pen was found, apparently. But it had conversations about her affair. I don't really understand what was going on in their marriage, but something definitely was not right. Somebody wasn't happy, or both parties weren't happy, and something bad happened. They found the helmet with the bike. Yeah. So here's the actual filing. So now he has a court date in October, and we will follow that and see what happens. And you can go to kktv.com and read through this entire motion. And here's all of the stuff. There's a thumb drive. Let's see what they do have of Barry's. I guess I never really looked at the whole evidence list or property list. I don't think I've ever seen this. They have had Mallory Morphew's cell phone since the arrest. 2 years. That's the daughter, in case you didn't know. So they have a Next Copy 16 gigabyte thumb drive, an SVAT camera, digital video recorder, Mallory Morphew's cell phone, an iPhone, Rampage native crossbow with hawk scope and 2 bolts, firearm paperwork for firearm with the serial number, Browning game camera, another Browning game camera, Matthews solo cam bow with 6 arrows and release, 17 Savage, I don't know what that is, a gun, compact Presario laptop, a Dell laptop or a Dell computer, white and pink Apple Watch with charger, digital trail cams times 5, camo ammo bag with miscellaneous ammo, another flash drive, financial documents from his truck, another trail camera, WGI Innovations, another trail camera, and another trail camera with a mount. Holy shit. 2 more trail cameras, white AirPods with a charger, crossbow bolt with multiple broadheads, 22 Hornet rifle with a scope, black Moultrie game camera, another one, 5 arrows, iFly black suitcase. This is some random shit. HP laptop, another laptop, which is probably some of the kids' stuff, I would imagine. HP laptop, Mac Apple laptop, a tablet, Apple iPad, a Kindle, a letter addressed to Barry from Suzanne, 3 more trail cameras. He wants the letter back, eh? Green tan Holy Bible. What? A green and tan Holy Bible that was in the main floor sitting room. Weird. Letters, journals, notebooks, black notebook, tax documents in black folder, iPod, documents, clothing, documents, container with documents, Holy crap. Notebook, camera, documents. Those are very broad. Miscellaneous receipts from master bathroom drawers. Master bathroom drawers? Miscellaneous thank you cards, a green journal, journal with butterflies, gratitude journal, family portrait, graphite arrow, 18 inches long with broad head, black DVR, DVS, another pistol, Ruger Police Service 6 revolver. Is that what that means? I don't know exactly what that means. Ruger Police Service. I don't know anything about guns. Ignorant to that. Browning Buckmark 22 caliber. Harrington and Richardson bolt action 22. Browning A bolt. Browning BL 22. Camo bolt action 17 caliber. Looks like a couple more rifles. I have no idea what the stuff is. CF Gunworks Forest, Indiana 300 Blackout with suppressor. Remington, Browning, blah, blah, blah. Another Remington, Weatherby Mark V. Looks like all this is hunting stuff, I guess. Benelli Super Black Eagle 2. All right, I'm coming to chat because I don't know if this is like a lot of stuff for one guy. Hey, thank you, Lori Staggs. I appreciate you. Yeah, it seems... Brat. Hey, Heather Brat. Heather Brat. I'm so glad you're here, Heather. Yay. I knew that he had weapons, but I didn't realize he had this many weapons. Mike Sanner, sounds like they were all handguns. Oh, all rifles. Lots of game cameras, too. So it sounds like he was a pretty extensive hunter. Oh, thank you, Linda Turner, for subscribing. Oh, wow, treed squirrel. That's pretty deep. That's really sad, actually. I'm sorry that she did that to you. Okay, so, Weatherby, Mark V. Okay, miscellaneous paperwork from GunSafe. Bank receipt from GunSafe. Tapes from GunSafe, VHS. GPS, 5 total. 2 more game cameras. 270 WSM, 240 Weatherby, 270, is that Winchester? Another Apple MacBook Pro. New Life Study Testament book. White books with writings. White green cross symbol bookmark. Tax documents, unopened mail doc. Miscellaneous documents, greeting cards, Victoria's Secret gift card, envelopes. Make sure you get that Victoria's Secret shit back, Barry. Yeah, I don't know what in the heck. If he was paranoid of something or what. That's a good thought. It's either he's a lunatic or he's straight up paranoid. Yeah. But I see why when, he was arrested that they did not want him to. They wanted to take all this stuff. That's kind of scary. Does anybody know what a broadhead is? All right, I'll come back to chat. Okay, you guys, I'm trying to. Okay, so they're saying that all this stuff, they've already been copied and preserved. So they're going to be in there on October the 23rd. That's the end of the list. But isn't it weird that they only had the one daughter's phone? I wonder why they didn't have both. I can't remember which one's the older one. Mallory, probably. But they only had Mallory, not the other daughter, according to this list. He was losing a bunch of money at the time. Oh, it's an arrow. Oh, okay. Oh, Cheryl T. Thank you, Auntie Cheryl. She said, love you, Jay. You make my heart so happy. Hi, Snow. Okay, let's get back. All right, so that's the end of it. That's a lot of stuff. And that's a lot of weapons for that dude to get back. Whew. If he truly did something to his wife, that is quite terrifying. But what are you going to do? I mean, he was exonerated. Charges were dropped. End of story. He's a free man. Moving into Oxford, Michigan. Jennifer and James Crumbly, you guys get this. They were supposed to be on trial next month in October. Now it's delayed with no new date set. This is the Oxford school shooter. Ethan Crumbly's parents. So they asked, I don't know, maybe a month ago for their complete charges to be dropped, thrown out, done with it. While they were waiting for that, the date was adjourned and no new date set. Doesn't that look good? That whatever that coffee drink is. All right, so they're going to be in court for a Daubert hearing. I've never heard of that, so let's read on to find out what a Daubert hearing is. They're going to be there October 18th in Oakland County Circuit Court in Pontiac, Michigan. In this kind of a hearing, which is a Daubert hearing, the judge will review expert witness testimony and how it will apply to the case. In other words, one side is challenging an expert witness. Interesting spin on things. I know. Bye, Jennifer. Where is that?
Hi, Jennifer.
Brat, you've always got to cue me. She's my cue for the sound bits. All right, so they were in court the last time in July, and their attorneys argued that they shouldn't have been charged because they're not responsible. But the prosecution says different. Prosecution says, no. We dug into these parents and their behavior prior to this shooting, and it's nothing more than disturbing. And they also ruled back in June that Ethan's journal and text messages could be used during their trial. And then they were also saying they're going to enter violent video games that Ethan played as evidence. So this is a case we've never seen before of each parent charged with 4 counts each of manslaughter. And they're saying they ignored this kid and they ignored the signs. So we will wait and find out, what is going to happen here. Are we going to have a trial? Ethan is supposed to go on trial in January. So if Ethan goes on trial in January, they wanted the Crumbleys to be after Ethan's. The Crumbleys lawyers did. So it looks like they might get their wish. I mean, they have proof in text that this kid told his friend that he was effed up and hallucinating and that he asked for help and didn't get it. Crazy. All right. On to Russia. This is from the Daily Beast. So take it as you will. But the Daily Beast is reporting that Russian officials more and more are telling Vladimir Putin to get the hell out of the Kremlin. So this is what's being reported. Take it for what it's worth. They're saying that Moscow suffered another series of humiliating defeats in Ukraine this weekend. And they're saying that there's an open letter to Putin from the municipal deputies in the Russian capital's Lomonosovsky, the Big Lebowski district, started out by seemingly trying to tell him gently that he had good reforms in his first term and part of his second, but then everything went wrong.
Roberta.
The rhetoric that you and your subordinates use has been riddled with intolerance and aggression for a long time, which in the end effectively threw our country back into the Cold War era. Russia has again begun to be feared and hated. We are once again threatening the whole world with nuclear weapons, the letter said. We ask you to relieve yourself of your post due to the fact that your views and your governance model are hopelessly outdated and hinder the development of Russia and its human potential. They make no mention of the war against Ukraine in this letter, but their plea comes as Putin's deranged special military operation next door took a nosedive, with thousands of Russian forces fleeing as Ukraine's military launched a series of surprise counteroffensives. So the war continues, and, you know, we don't know what kind of games are being played with this kind of information, but it's important to keep up on it since we have the bots here in chat. Wanted to give them a shout out.
Roberta.
Just kidding. All right, let's move on to the meat and potatoes. What I really wanted to talk about is Grady Judd. Our man Grady. We love Grady. We are big fans of law enforcement overall here on this channel, and we are big fans of Grady. Hello, Lucia. Welcome back. But we have been warned, I saw a couple weeks ago, by Russia that if we keep giving Ukraine these weapons, they're going to consider us part of the war. I am happy to keep you occupied, squirrel. Have fun painting. One of my worst pastimes. So, Sheriff Grady Judd busted this guy here. And he is a Cartersville, Georgia police officer. And he was here in Orlando for a polygraphy convention. So he took his free time while he was here to call for a prostitute. He answered an ad. And I think Grady Judd is a prime example for sheriffs nationwide. I know he gets a lot of flack. People are saying, oh, he just wants to be in Hollywood. He wants to be on TV. No, the guy's doing his job. And you have to give credit where credit is definitely due. So, in typical Grady Judd style, he did a press conference on this cop because he doesn't care if you're a cop, if you're a habitual criminal, or you're a first-timer criminal. He puts you on blast. And that's part of what he hopes is deterrent from these heinous people committing heinous crimes. And I've noticed that the things that I talk about are not the most comfortable. And I've noticed that some people don't like me talking about them. Hence the problems that I have. But to me, our children are our most important asset and always will be. And they have enough obstacles against them with social media, like Snapchat, making it where you have to go in ghost mode to not be followed. If you don't know this about your kid's Snapchat, you need to. Because you have to opt out in order to be followed. You're automatically followed unless you go in ghost mode. Yes, I think so too, Cray Cray. He gets madder at the cops because he expects them to withhold their duties, you know? So let's take a listen to Grady Judd. Enjoy, you guys. And again, thank you for being here. And I want to let everybody know everything's going to be reset again when the permanent network is set up and all put in place. So you guys enjoy watching law enforcement do their jobs. No, and before we start, I want to say, too, you have to ask yourself why an app would automatically default to location on when it's geared towards kids. It's disturbing. Protect your children.
Thank you very much for being with us today, folks. I really, really appreciate you being here. We're going to talk about our Operation Fall Hall 2, our human trafficking operation. Now, at the conclusion of that, we've had an event just occur at the state level, and the Secretary of the Department of Corrections has asked me to make a statement about that. So there'll be a separate topic after this human trafficking operation press release is complete. But I'm joined here today by our team members. To be ultimately successful as we have been in this operation, we simply can't do it by ourselves. It takes the police agencies and our colleagues from social services to be able to do a complete human trafficking operation, because what we're after today and every day that we do one of these operations is to find the victims of human trafficking. To do that, you have to cast a wide net, and that's what we did. We were joined by the Haines City Police Department, and Chief Greg Gorick is here today with us. The Lake Wells Police Department is represented here today. The Davenport Police Department and Interim Chief Bill Schrader is with us. The Bartow Police Department and Captain Michelle Smith is with us. The Winter Haven Police Department is
See how he has all of his local LE present, and he works alongside all of the cities in his county? Amazing.
Represented by Lieutenant Derek Blanton. Of course, we have the State Attorney's Office with Jennifer Ordonez, and I can't say enough great things about Brian Haas, our State Attorney, and his prosecutors, because none of this would be possible without the cooperation of and the support of the State Attorney's Office. But what's really, really important to us is not just that we have a police operation, because we had a successful police operation, but we're trying to identify the victims of human trafficking. And when we do, from the moment they come into the operation, we want to immediately hand them off to our social services friends and our counselors so that they can begin working with these victims of human trafficking. These are some of the most difficult victims to work with. We know there are a lot more of them that admitted, but as you can see, that we have fuzzed out the faces of several that have admitted or either we suspect. And then there's one that we had to tape over this morning that was in the county jail who just this morning admitted to us, okay, I am a victim of human trafficking. I would like services. So our goal is to start these services the moment that they are taken into custody, and then to treat them as what they are, victims, not suspects of criminal events. I might point out, if others of these prostitutes come forward later as victims, there's specific law in the state of Florida that's really terrific that causes us to go in and eliminate all evidence of an arrest, photographs,
Look at this,
reports,
fall hall
court
number
actions,
2.
and they're treated as a victim. And it's important to understand that if there were no Johns, if there were no customers, there would be no prostitutes, and there would be no human trafficking. But folks, the overwhelming majority of these ladies are or have been in the past taken advantage of. You know, they used to call them, oh, he's the one who provides for me. He's the one that gives me a ride. But what we've found is many, many, many times that, in fact, this person is trafficking this lady. He's making a profit off of her. He is controlling her very life. As I said, some of these victims are hardcore because they've learned that these traffickers control their very life, what they wear, where they live, their drugs, their food, their entire life. We've got to break all that down. So having services on site to deal with this is very important. So we made 160 arrests in only 7 days. 160 arrests. That was 86 prostitutes, 65 Johns, and then there were 9 others,
Wow.
2 of which I'm going to talk about briefly, that were caught up. We charged during this operation 52 additional felonies, 216 misdemeanors. But of this group of folks that we see here today, they had already amassed collectively 419, I want to say thousand, but it's 419 previous felonies. You would think I'd learn to read this, okay?
Look at all those faces. That is insane to me. And I love how he puts it out there so you get the gist of it. On the left are the people that were seeking a prostitute. On the right were the people offering to commit prostitution. And then on the bottom were other arrests that were made. Look how big the right side is compared to the left. And you see boys and girls' faces. And I believe a lot of those boys and girls are victims. So sad.
Zeros at the end of it. 419 previous felonies, 619 previous misdemeanors. So many of these people were already well known to the criminal justice system. Only 16 of the 160 were from Polk County. I think the people of Polk County are about to get the message that if you come here and violate the law, we're going to put you in jail, and Brian Haas and his prosecutors are going to prosecute you. So we're pleased that it was only 16 of 160. Central Florida needs to catch a clue. If you come here to commit crime, you're coming here to go to our jail. But in addition to that, we have 3 of the men that are here for deriving proceeds. We suspect they're human traffickers. We don't have enough evidence to charge them with that at this time. They're still under investigation. But as we start with our folks that we're going to show you today, our cards,
Here we
I
go.
want to start with a blank card. I want to talk about this lady because we must educate the community to understand that many of these ladies that are victims have had a really tough life.
Yes.
And
Wow.
we're trying to break the cycle.
I am so,
This
oh my
particular
gosh.
lady,
I am so glad he's addressing this because that's just what I said. They're victims. They've been groomed. They have tough lives and they're preyed upon and they're taken advantage of.
was the victim. She walked into our undercover operation. She was 10 weeks pregnant.
Oh my
She
God.
said she had been taking drugs, and specifically fentanyl, and hoping and praying that naturally she could abort the baby.
Oh my goodness.
She didn't want the baby. It was an unwanted pregnancy. That's some of the sadness that we see. She also received a text while she was in our custody from someone that said, quote, "Just promise me you'll be careful. Get out of that place because that is Polk County. Get out fast." Well, it's too late. She was already in custody. But that was a good thing because we have identified her as a victim, and if she'll accept the services of these wonderful ladies that's behind us, we can make a positive difference in her life. She's from Fern Park, Florida, and that's over near Seminole County. Now, as you know, this is Deputy Police Chief Jason DePrima. We talked about him earlier this week because it had leaked out to the media, and they showed significant interest because he's the Deputy Chief of Police in Cartersville, Georgia,
Yikes.
where he managed to
Ashley,
embarrass
nobody
his
said yikes. He
organization, himself, and his family. And this is what he looks like when he's under arrest. We talked about him last week. I won't talk any more today other than to tell you that he resigned from the police department. He is no longer a police officer in Cartersville, Georgia, and he needs to work on reconstructing his life with his family. He did a very mean, nasty thing to his family, and he certainly embarrassed all the people of Cartersville. I think it's important that I underscore that the Cartersville Police Department is a very professional police department in Georgia, and they didn't deserve what Jason did. And he lost his career over it. He has resigned.
That's correct.
So with that, it must have been Government Day or Government Week
Oh, no.
at Fall Hall 2, because Jason was not the only person in law enforcement to get arrested. This
What?
is Keith Nieves. He's 24. He's a state corrections officer. He works for Lake Corrections, Lake CI. He's been there 2 years. He came there on a late night. He lives in Orlando, and he wanted to engage in consensual sex with a prostitute who turned out to be an undercover law enforcement officer. Now think about this. This guy is in charge of people who are in prison for violating the law. He comes and he violates the law. So birds of a feather flock together, and he's in the jail as a jailbird, like those jailbirds he watches.
He's nuts.
Then there's Cameron Burke. Cameron Burke was a computer technician. Formerly, okay, let me underscore formally, he was at Oak Ridge High School.
Oh, my God.
He's 41 years of age. Oak Ridge High School is in Ocoee or Orange County, Florida. Interestingly enough, listen to me, you can't make this stuff up. He was out on bond from having sex with a student,
Oh, my
a
God.
mere child. Yes, that's right. He had sex multiple times with this child at school, in his office.
What?
He was arrested in March of this year. Are you kidding me? So he's bonded out. He's got some hugely serious criminal charges pending against him in Orange County. And guess what? How much of a difference did that make? Not a lot. He's on dating websites, and he comes to the undercover op saying, I want to engage in sex with 2 women for $200. Well, when we arrested him, then he becomes an emotional wreck. Oh, I can't do this. I'm out on charges. Well, dude, why didn't you think of that ahead of time? Of course, you only had 3 brain cells. He didn't care until he was caught, and then it was serious. Well, what about that little girl you sexually battered at school in your office where you were a computer tech? So in any event, he's arrested
Unreal.
again, and we certainly hope that there is a Parker v. State so that he stays locked up. He's a dangerous person to children, to the community, when he's not locked up. Well, you know, teachers sometimes have to be taught a lesson. There
Oh,
you go.
my
There's your
God.
teacher, Carlos Gonzalez. He's 36. He teaches at New Dimensions High School in Osceola County. He teaches math. And he came for 1 hour with two ladies,
Oh, my
and he was willing to pay $200.
Are you
But he
kidding me?
obviously didn't
Come on,
think through
girl.
this very well. I don't know how well he does math, how well he teaches math, but, you know, one trip to a prostitute house ends up one trip to the county jail. 1 and 1 is 2, and he got to 2. He said he was not going to have sex when we talked to him. He just came there to give the undercovers the money. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? He just,
Come on.
out of the warmth of his heart, wanted
Right.
to talk trash to two prostitutes online and show up to give them money. And then he was going to leave.
Are
He did
you
leave.
kidding me?
He left in the back of a van and went to the county jail. Oh, he was from Davenport, from Polk County. He should have known better.
Yes, he
knows
should
better
have.
now.
Did you hear me?
Guess who
Are
this guy
you
is?
kidding me?
School teacher.
Oh, my God.
Got us another
I
one.
cannot.
Yep, John Layton. He's 26. He was a teacher at West Orange High School in Orange County. When he showed up, I just love this. You want to go, what are you thinking, man? What are you thinking?
Did you
Well,
hear
you're
me?
not thinking. He was wearing the high school track shirt.
Oh, my God.
Are you kidding me?
I didn't stutter. He was wearing the high school track shirt.
You know.
And he came there and he wanted sex for $40.
Did you
And
hear
he
me?
saw our undercover agent and said, wow, 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 I'll take $100 worth of that.
What?
Well, what he got was $100 worth of a trip to the county jail. So
You know.
he's in jail. Maybe he and the math teacher can talk about, how did you get here? Well, 1 and 1 added up to 2. He said, well, you know, I'm a track coach. I sprinted my way to jail. I don't know what they'll talk about, but they had an opportunity. Not only that, are you ready for this? Then he asked the detectives, how long is this going to take? He said, you know, I got track practice in the morning. No.
You know.
The students have track practice in the morning. You've got jail practice in the morning. You're not going to any practice.
You know. My
Well,
detectives
that was
are
the end of our
best.
government, folks,
And we
for
will
the
come
time
after
being.
you and track you
But then
down.
we had a male prostitute show up, okay? This guy's name is David Morton, and boy, did he show up. This guy was naked when he walked in the door. He was not buck naked. To be buck naked, you can't even be wearing your socks. But you see, he was wearing a shirt, but that was all. So he boldly walked in to the undercover operation, and that's right, had nothing on from the waist down, but apparently he had him a little towel, so when he was outside, you know,
Are
they could
you
see the
kidding
cheeks
me?
of his butt, but
Oh
he was
my
watching,
God,
he
wait.
was protecting the other area.
Wait. I'm sorry, but Grady Judd just said the cheeks of his butt. This dude had no friggin' pants on. This is so disturbing. Let's listen to that part again.
In to the undercover operation, and that's right, had nothing on from the waist down, but apparently he had him a little towel, so when he was outside, you know, they could see the cheeks of his butt, but he was watching, he was protecting the other area. But as soon as he hit that front door, boom, away the towel went.
Oh my God.
So guess what? He went to jail. And he is just a bad guy. He's from Orlando, Florida, too.
Did I not rewind it far enough? Wait, let's go back. That is a soundbite for sure. The cheeks of his butt.
Naked when he walked in the door.
Naked. Watch.
Well, that was the end of our government, folks, for the time being. But then we had a male prostitute show up, okay? This guy's name is David Morton, and boy, did he show up. This guy was naked when he walked in the door. He was not buck naked. To be buck naked, you can't even be wearing your socks. But you see, he was wearing a shirt, but that was all. So he boldly walked in to the undercover operation, and that's right, had nothing on from the waist down, but apparently he had him a little towel, so when he was outside, you know, they could see the cheeks of his butt, but he was protecting the other area. But as soon as he hit that front door, boom, away the towel went.
Oh my God.
So guess what? He went to jail.
Are you
And
kidding
he
me?
is just a bad guy. He's from Orlando,
Did you hear
Florida,
me?
too.
You know.
And then there was John Glass.
Oh God.
John Glass is 61 years of age.
Oh my God.
He's from Verona, Kentucky. But he has a vacation home in Kissimmee.
At least the lawyer.
His wife was in Kissimmee at the vacation home when he eased away and showed up at our undercover operation. You know, I don't know if he showed up on time or not, you know, like his pizzas, because he owns Domino's pizza franchises in Kentucky.
Shit.
You know, you order what you want on the pizza. Well, he ordered what he wanted, and then he arrived, they told me, on time. So I guess his training of delivering pizzas or having his staff deliver pizzas on time, he transferred that over to us. But listen, we didn't give him any pizza. We don't serve any pizza at the jail, but certainly he felt like he had gone through a pizza oven by the time he had gotten arrested, got to go to jail. But he was an honest sort of Domino pizza franchise owner. He said, well, I've done this 4 times in the past. Well, have you discussed this with your wife? Did you get her permission? Did she say, go, boy, go? Apparently not. So he told her, he says, I'm paying for an hour of sex, but I think 15 minutes is all I'll need.
Ew.
He's just going to give her a tip, I guess, kind of like the pizza delivery guy.
Objection.
What else can you say?
Could you say that again?
This is
Mr. Robert
Guillermo Perez. He's 57. Now, where would we be with an undercover operation and no Disney employees? Oh, yes, we always have Disney employees. He's a bellhop at the Coronado Springs Resort in Disney.
In the name of
from
Jesus,
Winter
Father
Garden.
God, Lord.
He confessed and he said, you caught me. Well, he wasn't by himself. This guy is a independent photographer. He does not work for Disney, but he's contracted by Disney. He came there not to take photographs, but to engage a lady of the evening. But he's a nice guy. He brought sour Skittles for the undercover.
Oh my
He's
God.
from Orlando. He's from Winter Garden. Maybe when they get out of jail, they could like Uber back to Orange County together, you think?
Woo-wee, that will scare somebody.
So here's Shanace Blake. I want to make it abundantly clear she did not come there to have sex, even though she went on this website, but she showed up with, you're not going to believe this, a pound of marijuana to sell. That's right. $1,900. She sold a pound of marijuana. So who drove her there? Her boyfriend, Kervin Felix. He's 29. What did they bring beside a pound of marijuana? Their 2-year-old baby.
Oh my God.
No car seat,
Oh my God.
not secured, but a 2-year-old baby. Brought a 2-year-old baby with them. That's not cool. So both of them went to jail. The 2-year-old baby was recovered and is on the way back to the family. McNo. Then there's Ariel Palmore. She really likes our undercover operations. She loves visiting with us at our operations.
Oh my God.
In fact, she loves us so much, she showed up in our March Sadness arrest earlier this year. And then she came back for our fall haul too. We look forward to seeing her again in our next operation because she's kind of gotten used to being arrested by us. If she's out of jail. But when we look back at her felony charges, okay, she says she's in cosmetology. But in 2009, she was charged with murder. It was dropped to robbery with a firearm. She got 1 year and a month and 6 years probation. Man, that Orange County is a place you ought to be if you want to commit crime. Don't come to Polk County because we're going to lock you up for like ever for being involved. But they pled her down. Well, she did so well with 1 year and a day and 6 years probation. In 2021, she was charged with murder or homicide again. And that charge was dropped or abandoned in Orange County. She's doing all right. She somehow was allegedly involved in 2 murders, and she's still out coming to our operations where she's been arrested twice.
McNo.
She has a very, very violent history. But we appreciate her coming to our operations and behaving. She's a perfect lady when we arrest her. She's from Orlando.
If you'll please point that microphone right at your chin.
Our next one, where would we be without an alleged gang member? That's right, he says he's a member of a gang. He's from St. Cloud over in Osceola County. He said he was supposed to be the prostitute in this event, and he came over to engage in sexual conduct with a lady, ostensibly, while the husband watched.
In the name
Surprise.
of Jesus, Father God.
That's not what it was.
Surprise.
It was a sting.
Wait, hold on. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. This is so gross.
Prostitute in this event, and he came over to engage in sexual conduct with a lady, ostensibly, while the husband watched. Surprise. That's not what it was. It was a sting, and you got stung on your gang
Angie
rear
B
end.
got stung.
When we arrested him, he was armed with a handgun in his waistband. Newsflash, he's a convicted felon. He's not supposed to have firearms, but he had one.
Newsflash.
He has a history of violent and nonviolent past.
Oh, Cindy,
folks,
I didn't mean to do that.
Our goal is to try to send him to prison for carrying a concealed firearm.
Cindy, that was an accident.
Felon. Not only the charges that he has in front of him. So today we have asked our colleagues who would like to present. Our police chief said, hey, Sheriff, you got it. But we do have the opportunity to hear from Jody Domain. She's from One More Child. And there's representatives that were at the operation from Heartland for Children, Children's Home Society, DCF, Amanda Wilson. She said she's not going to talk. Saleha Freedom was with us, and Dr. Marianne Thomas from My Name, My Voice. So we'll start with Dr. Thomas, and then next Jody Domain will speak.
Okay, so I saw a couple of you guys saying you were wondering about the arrests of the prostitutes, and they shouldn't be arrested. They should be offered resources. So you're going to hear about the resources that Grady Judd has put in place to help these victims, because a lot of them either A, don't realize that they're victims. Did you hear that thunder? They don't realize they're victims, or they're just so brainwashed or scared. You know, there's a lot of deprogramming and mental health and neglect and abuse in these girls' lives and guys, male and female, that are used for prostitution. It starts somewhere.
Hi, my name is Mary Ann Thomas, and I am with the organization My Name, My Voice. And just first, thank you to the sheriff for inviting me back again to do this operation, along with the fine men and women who conducted it. It is so important that we are able to do this, that in that first instant that a victim is identified, that we are able to immediately stand alongside that victim and sit with them through questioning, help them along their path of talking to police and being able to walk out of that life. Thank you to all of the PDs that also showed up and lended a hand. I worked with some amazing people this time. I have to say these operations are better every time. I'm proud to be a part of it. I saw people who are detectives or officers for different organizations come and ask me about victims from previous operations and how they are doing. I saw people come in this operation and come and say, I see something, I feel something is off here. Can you come check it out? And I was able to immediately go and talk to that person and see if they needed help. And so I'm so proud to be here. And if you're someone who I met on this operation and you were under arrest and you were there to sell yourself, I just want to remind you something you heard me say that night. You don't have to do this. You can do something different. I am standing here saying it can be done. And so please, you are given a packet of paper with different phone numbers. Call one of them. If you don't get the answer you need, call the next one. But please make those calls. And if you're someone who was arrested for purchasing a person, that's not okay. Okay? We don't buy people. That's not okay. And so I'm sorry we had to meet like this, but I'm really glad that we do this because I really hope you have learned a lesson here. Thank you so much.
Okay. Jody?
Thank you, Sheriff Judd. My name is Jody Domingue. I'm the Executive Director of Anti-Trafficking at One More Child. One More Child is a nonprofit organization that served over 320,000 children and families last year by coming alongside foster children, hungry children, struggling families, single moms, and trafficked children and adults. We've worked these human trafficking operations with the Polk County Sheriff's Office and the various agencies represented here today, and every single time we are able to identify several potential victims of human trafficking. But what we also know is that everyone that walks through those doors to be purchased, after we sit down and we hear their stories, they have had histories every single time of being abused and being sexually exploited. So our teams, made up of advocates, peer mentors, and mental health counselors, are able to come alongside of them.
See, she just said almost everyone has mental health issues. They're not recognizing that here. Now, when you look in other cities, they throw these people in jail and they do a little stint in jail and then they get out. And they have nothing else, so they go right back into it. Sad. But thank God for people like this who are legitimate and stand beside someone else legitimate for a good cause.
After we sit down and we hear their stories, they have had histories every single time of being abused and being sexually exploited. So our teams, made up of advocates, peer mentors, and mental health counselors, are able to come alongside of them immediately to offer life-changing services that begin the restoration process immediately. So we're going to ask this. If you have children in your life, because we know now more than ever, children and young adults are susceptible for being trafficked and sexually exploited, please be involved in their lives. Find out who their friend groups are and what their friend groups are doing. Find out what they're doing on the internet. Check out their social media apps. Monitor them. Find out what websites they're frequenting. And please learn the signs to identify human trafficking and grooming. And once you identify it, please intervene by reaching out to the Polk County Sheriff's Office and your local law enforcement agency, and if it's a child, DCF, Department of Children and Families. If you would like more information on how to identify the signs of grooming and human trafficking or how to intervene, please contact us at onemorechild.org. I just want to thank Sheriff Judd and the Polk County Sheriff deputies, the various agencies represented here today. As Dr. Marian Thomas said, and we echo, it is of excellence, and how they are treating potential victims and those that are exploited is just bar none. They are now very, very advantageous about getting these services implemented immediately. So thank you all for your time, and thank you for your service.
Once again, our goal is to rescue these young ladies, and the Johns need to know. We're going to have other operations, and we're going to lock you up. And there is a mandatory $5,000 fine that goes with a conviction. And we are going to go after people who go after these ladies who have been trafficked, these prostitutes, these victims, all whatever status they claim in life, we're going to go after them. And the reason we're going to go after the Johns is because we know the vast majority of these ladies that aren't cooperating are in fact victims, and we're not going to give up on these ladies who we believe are victims either.
There you go. There you go. Never heard more truth, right? So, good job again, always by the Polk County Sheriff, right? You guys, it's a heavy topic, but we see, if we don't pay attention to it, we don't see the changes. We don't hear the warnings. We don't know the latest, on all this is social media, all of it. It's awful. Cindy, I think that's a wonderful idea. And did you notice that woman said, if you, have concerns, or, if you need to know the signs, if you have, suspect that there's something not right, we need to start speaking up for victims and not being afraid. Because if we weren't afraid and all of us spoke up, these guys like this would be totally outnumbered. We outnumber these creepazoids that prey on our children and on women and men alike. Nobody deserves to be owned or rented, or however you want to put it. It's sick. So, anyhow, I think that Grady Judd does work with other departments as well, and kind of, shows them how they do things there and how things go down. But before we end, I wanted to real quick give you guys, I know you guys have all been following religiously, I wanted to give you guys the latest in the Kylie Rodney case. Yeah, so here's the latest update in the Kylie Rodney case. Give me 2 seconds. Oops. Okay. Here is the latest in the Kylie Rodney case. Here's your latest update. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed that update. That is the current real news that is out there. So, you guys, I want to thank you again, all of the Roberters who stayed Roberters. I don't know if you're... You buzzed? But if you are, that's great. Stay buzzed and stay a...
Roberta.
I love you. Dance this mofo out. Thanks again, you guys. I appreciate you, and thank you for allowing me to continue what I love to do. Bye, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow. As soon as I get this stuff worked out, see you then. Take care.
I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn.